So, what are we be playing today?
Working on I got both a Concert Etude by Alexander Gedeke, as well as Chorale and Variations by Mark Domas.
Okay.
A couple parts in each of them.
All right. So we're just gonna take this one at a time. So, let's just see what you got in this first one, and then I'll give feedback. So, why don't you start when you're ready?
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Telephone sound exactly working at the moment.
Okay. All right. So I really like the change in style that you showed. So like in this first page, it was really regal and like really like fanfare like. So I really liked how it was really the articulation was very crisp and clean. And in the second page, I like how it was really cantabile, like the page says, and you really like juiced every note and made it sure it sounded. So that was really good. I like the style change. So let's just take it back to the beginning and just try to get these articulations, make sure the slurred transitions smoothly into the staccato ones.
Okay.
So just up to the piano.
Okay.
All right, that was good. And I also like the decrescendo that you put. So when we're doing that, just try to make sure the decrescendo is even more because it goes from a mezzo forte to a piano. So let's make sure that we bring that out just a little bit more.
Okay.
All right, that was good. That was good. So now, one other thing I wanted to point out was so this double tongue. I know it's challenging, but just try to make sure we go from we crescendo up to the forte, and then we go immediately back down to the piano.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So one thing I want you to focus on is make sure exactly where you want the piano to be.
Okay.
Because right now it felt like
Was it
it
later?
went from forte piano, but there wasn't a distinct point where that happened.
Okay.
So just make sure you go. So right on that second A, you go down to a piano. All right, that was much better, much better. And same thing again, make sure the slurs connects and like staccatos. So start from the piano. here. So after you finish this phrase, da 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 da, I noticed that you took like a quick breath, but then you went straight back in. It gives you like 6 measures of rest, so you have plenty of time
Okay.
to catch your breath or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm not saying like you should hold out those 6 measures because obviously there's probably another part in this.
Yeah,
That
it was
plays?
piano.
Yeah, so you can really make sure like empty your spit valve, reset your lips, you know,
Okay.
really take your time there. So let's just go from here and take those 6 measures, break, and then go straight back in on piano. All right. One thing I noticed is, so the articulation was really good, and the crescendo, especially here, was really effective. We went da 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 da. Just make sure we start at that piano. So even though the crescendo was good, it will make that much more of a difference if we start softer. So that way, it will seem that we got really big.
Okay.
And, you know, just
Okay.
continue the crescendo is, and then when it says P, you just got to drop all the way down
Okay.
to the beginning ones.
That wasn't it.
All right, that was good. Much better, much better. Can I just hear this next? So this next section is really similar to the beginning, right?
Mhm.
Da, 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 da. So make sure it's pretty much similar to the one, like leggero, very regal, and crisp tongues. Okay. Yeah, so that was much better, much better. It sounded like it was like a little recall to the beginning and a restatement of ideas, so I like that. One thing is, so you did the decrescendo was actually really effective, and da 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 da. Just make sure we get that forte piano, especially
Okay.
because that's coming from a crescendo, so really make it drastic, and
Okay.
especially that staccato is like da 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 da. Okay. That was a little better. Just make sure right when we hit that downbeat,
Okay.
it goes forte to piano right away. All right, that was much better, much better. I like that. Do you have any questions so far about the piece?
No, nothing this far.
Okay, so let's just continue on this. Just really try to make sure this high G is like, really try to make sure the melodic G, you put an accent in, and it's kind of like the high point
Okay.
of this section, because I think, that's pretty much,
That's
that's pretty much like the climax of the piece, well, not the piece, but of this section. So let's just try to make sure we bring that out.
not big enough, huh?
All right, so I really like that. It was really effective. That it was really accented and clear, and again, sort of the same thing in the next bar. It's kind of a restatement, just in a different key. Da 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 da. So just trying to make sure it's pretty similar to that, except you keep on growing and growing and pushing up to that E. So similar idea, just continue it to the E. Yeah, that was good. I like that. So, is there any questions so far that you have?
No questions.
All right. So this section was pretty solid. So let's go on to the next section, the cantabile.
Okay.
thing I think you should make a distinction between the legatos and the
Okay.
normal articulations. So just try to put not a ton of space, but just a little bit of space between the normal ones, and
Okay.
legatos you keep legatos. All right, so I really heard the distinction in these four notes, da da, because I think it's because of the interval. But
Mhm.
whenever it's like repeated notes, like
Okay.
da 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 g g, make sure that you still
More-
keep that
more
distinction.
space.
Yeah, more space. Yeah, just one thing I want you to be aware of is come back down to the piano at this section,
Okay.
and then crescendo back into mezzo forte. Okay, that's good. Do you have any questions so far about this?
Should I do anything else more dynamically in this? It feels kind of like it might be bland, but I'm not sure if it's
Yeah.
that way from a listener's perspective.
So, I think cantabile really it can give you a freedom as far as
Mhm.
dynamic expression.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could say like it's all really up to the interpretation or like how you play the piece. But sometimes if you want to like crescendo when it's a ascending line or decrescendo when it's a decrescending line,
Mm-hmm.
like something like that, I would recommend. Or yeah, just make sure that you have a bunch of freedoms. Just try to make it expressive. That's why they call it cantabile. So
Okay.
whatever you see fit is.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. I really liked how you made a big deal out of the two G's and the two A's. You kind of crescendo into them, so it's like really climactic. So I like that.
Okay.
That was a good,
Perfect.
That was a good interpretation. Now let's move on to the next section, the double tongue. Dugga, 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 dugga.
Okay.
Let's make sure we start at piano and crescendo all the way up to the high G. Okay. One thing I guess I would recommend is try not just because since it's a faster tune, 152, you don't have to have that much space in between each staccato. So it can kind of be you can kind of get away with just doing it in normal tongues instead of staccato because it's so fast. People will barely able to tell.
Okay.
So you don't have to just pretend like the staccato marks. It's just like you don't have to interpret it like literally as a staccato.
Okay.
So as long as there's some tongue in there, that should be fine.
Okay.
It'll sound staccato because of how fast the piece is. All right. So another thing is trying to make sure we make a bigger deal out of the pianos and fortes because I feel like right now you were playing it from like mezzo piano to a forte. Let's try to make sure we go from actual piano up to the forte that's accented at the very top.
Gotcha.
All right, very good. Much improved. You have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Let's just move on to this next section. Actually, let's take a quick break, rest your face, whatever you need to
Okay.
do.
Okay. I am going to grab some water, maybe.
All right, so how did you feel that you improved? So like, what did you do differently from the first time rather than like this pastime about this cantabile section?
I thought about playing the line more, which I think I just was kind of just like playing notes originally at a louder volume instead of truly reading like the sheet of music that was in front of me, and I felt a lot better about that.
All right.
It helped kind of propel to the upper notes as well.
Okay. All right, so if you're ready, then you can go ahead and work on this next section.
Okay.
I'll stop you right there, but I really liked so it's similar to the beginning, it's slur and then staccato, staccato, staccato. So I really liked how you kept that same, it's like basically a retelling of the beginning, so I really liked how you kept that same energy and the same articulation, so that was good. And I also really liked the decrescendo you got all the way to actual piano. And just make sure, I guess while you're doing this 2 bars of piano, trying to make sure, like it's similar to the cantabile section. You don't have to make it all piano. You can feel free to add some dynamic variation.
Okay.
So whatever you see fit.
I'm gonna start right here.
Okay. Yeah, so that was good. I really liked how you kind of crescendoed into that, into the
16th.
Yeah, the 16th notes. That was good.
Okay.
And kind of do like the same thing in this next section, and when he goes into the da 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 da. Right, that was much improved. Thank you. So this next section, it has a lot of dynamic variations, as you can see. It's like piano,
2 bars.
Yeah. So it could crescendos for 1 bar, decrescendos for half a bar or something. So just make sure we keep that in mind while we play it all the way up to the end. One thing I think you should try to make sure we're starting at different points, because one starts at piano, one starts at mezzo forte.
Okay. Did it sound kind of the same?
Yeah, it kind of sounded the same, so just try to make sure one's down here and one's up here. Great, that was much better. Now let's continue on this long crescendo and long decrescendo. Okay. Alright, so that's good. So is there anything in the first page or the second page that you feel that you need to, that stuck out to you? Or need to run again?
I don't think there was anything that I was like, ooh, I really need to look at that again. It really solidified some of the things that I had questioned if were being heard by a listener versus what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So that was nice to get some feedback on.
Mm-hmm. So you do have another
yeah,
piece?
I do have another piece that we can
so
look at too.
Yeah, we can move on to the next one.
All right.
Okay. So what are we playing here?
This is Chorale Variations by Mark Delmas. He wrote it for especially the students in Paris, and it eventually became like a Paris conservatory standard.
Okay. So are you going to be playing
I'll do
all of them?
Yeah, I'll do the first 3 movements today.
Okay.
You'll get the first 3.
Right. beautiful. I like the vibrato that you held out at each whole note. That was really made it like. Is there So have you?
I have
translated
not
it?
looked that up yet.
Okay, so
It's
I'm
a
guessing.
lot of letters.
Yeah. So it's like in French. So just
Yeah.
trying to make sure we look up the terms or whatever, see what they mean, so
Okay.
that we can play with that sort of emotion. I'm
Mhm.
guessing it's something like cantabile.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, yeah, something like that. So I really liked how you interpreted it as that. So that was really good with the vibratos. And I don't have much to say about this section. Just I just try to make sure because it's all in a slur.
Yeah.
It's all in a slur. Make sure and like there's like three notes connected into it.
Mhm.
I guess try to make sure like we kind of group them together instead of
Okay.
just like one.
I think
long
it might be
thing.
more of a phrase marking.
Yeah.
'Cause it might be adapted off of like a vocal part.
Okay.
So I'm not totally sure. But
Alright.
yeah, I'll try that again.
Let's try to make it like in phrases.
Yep.
Alright, much better. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this. Just trying to, I guess, right here because the whole piece was slurred. Trying to make a bigger deal of this legato.
Okay.
So you can start right there.
Right on that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. All right, so let's just move on to the next variation.
Alrighty.
Whenever you're ready. Okay, I really like the articulations that you did. You really made I can really hear the distinction between the staccatos and the slurs and the accented, so that was really good.
Cool.
I guess the only thing I have to say is whenever you have like a moving line or whatever, just try to make
do
sure.
something with it.
No, not.
or-
I guess because it's like kind of like faster. I guess you don't really need to do something because the contour of the line kind of already does that for you.
Okay.
So we just try to push through that high G's.
Oh, gotcha.
And like even up here is like da 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 da. You don't even really need to crescendo because it's so high. I guess the instrument will naturally
Yeah,
tend to do
yeah.
that. So just try to make sure we push through that, and whenever we have like those high notes like that. So you can start here and just play all the way up to
Play it through.
yeah. Right, that was really good. So do you have any questions about this one?
No. Thanks for clarifying that. Again, that whole like, is it sounding the way it
Yeah.
should? Thanks for picking that up on those couple lines there.
Yeah. So just like as you blow through notes, just know that depending on like where the line of the music is going, it tends to just like naturally like if it's going down, it tends to decrescendo. It's going up, it tends to crescendo. So just I guess keep that in mind. Last one, we can just do the second variation. This will be the last one. So whenever you're ready.